Does your parenting positivity have a negative impact on your child? Some clients come to me and say, "Oh, I'm like, how's your day?" And I'm being so positive, and they're like, "Bad." Mm. And they don't get anything of them from their child in terms of conversation. But here's the thing, a lot of times those really chirpy cheerleader remarks that we can make, like, "Way to go," and "I'm so proud of you," actually can do damage to our child's self-esteem. This is one of the most important pieces I talk to and enlighten parents on. I just had clients last week say, "Oh my gosh, that one made such a difference." And I want to share some of it with you today. So, before I dive in, if you like what you hear, I really appreciate you giving a thumbs up, but especially subscribing, because this is where you will get more of these type of videos like this. So, I'm going to jump right into a section of my book, Love Parenting: 9 Steps to Get Your Stubborn Child to Listen, but without bribing, yelling, or caving in. So, this is truth time here. I'm curious, do you ever use what I call those cheerleader comments? So they're nice comments too. They can be like I said, "I'm so proud of you. Yay, you won. You got that A." Now, you might think that they sound like music to your child's ears, but guess again. Often these very well-intentioned, loving cheers are more annoying jingles than esteem empowering anthems. So, I want to dive briefly into the world of child psychology and growth mindset to discover how you can be sure your positivity isn't actually decreasing your child's confidence. So, know this: there is a grand canyon of difference between those nice and kind remarks. So, let's kind of deconstruct this. Nice comments are like colorful sprinkles on a birthday cupcake. They're sweet, but often offer zip when it comes to nutrition. Kind statements are like whole foods. Yes, I want you to think organic, fresh, things that nourish a child's self esteem from the inside out. So let's play a game of spot the difference between praise versus encouragement. And praise are those nice, syrupy, sweet remarks. Encouragement is that whole foods, kind remarks. So while nice, praise is like those shiny stickers for winning a game or acing a test. Encouragement, it requires more thought. It's noticing the effort in their game or the creative process behind that special art project with the toilet paper rolls, say. But here's the sticky part. Too much praise is like smothering pancakes with syrup, and it gets messy fast. A childhood esteem that's the diet, let's say, that's based only on praise creates dependency on external validation. So these are the kids that are people pleasers through and through, constantly looking for, "Hey, did you see what I did?" And also, it can get them into this pattern of putting down their siblings or putting down even their friends. Alternatively, encouragement fosters a sweet sense of internal motivation from this growth mindset. So, moreover, using a lot of rewards feeds external motivation and entitlement. A kid who doesn't appreciate what you do or what others often do is the result. So, I like to think of it this way. Praise focuses on the outcome of a game. Encouragement focuses on the effort during a game. So if you're in the bleachers watching your kid's game, say, I want you to think about before you know the results of the game, what are you saying? It's like, "Great hustle, good pass." Like those are the kind of things. They're very specific. They're not these like broad, blushing accolades of, "Yay, you won, you're the best, that was awesome." So, why is praise so popular? Because believe you me, it's so much easier to use and you'll hear it all the time. And what I hope from this conversation today is you'll start to hear it in a different way. You'll start to hear others using it, but I especially want you to check in with how you may be using it and how you may be using it even more than you think you are. So the reason it's our go-to, it's often as easy to use as microwave cooking. Like it's quick, heat it up, requires minimal effort. And you can dish out praise without missing a beat of that daily to-do list. So the text, the laundry, checking off another item, you know, oftentimes you can easily say, "Oh, yes, I'm so proud of you," without even thinking. Alternatively, encouragement is like a slow cooked gourmet meal. It requires mindfulness, maybe a recipe, time for dialogue, and specificity. Say that 5 times fast, please. So I want you to just listen to the differences. So I'm going to read a list of some remarks, and I want you to check in. Is it encouraging or is it praise? So again, you'll know praise are kind of those broad brushing statements, general statements, all or nothing statements. Encouraging remarks are more of the very specific, thoughtful. So try this one out. Tell me what you did do well on that game. How do you feel about that? What do you most like about your picture? You are super focused right now. Are you feeling proud of yourself? Is there anything you want to learn from that? Is there anything you want to improve? You put a lot of time into that last project. It seems like it made a big difference to your mark, yes? Nice pass. So, which one is it? If you said encouragement, ding, 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 you're right. What you might have also noticed is that there were a lot of questions. And what I love about using questions, especially with stubborn or strong willed children, is that it gets them to start using more of their critical thinking, to start reflecting. And this provides rich seeding of ideas because sometimes if we're constantly feeding them, yes, I'm so proud of you, they don't have to think about, well, what did I like about that? Or in that game, what did I do well that I was proud of, or I want to do more of, or I want to do less of? So I'll give you some very common praise remarks now. You won. Don't worry about it. That's the best picture. Great work, sweetie. I am so proud of you. I'm really disappointed in you. Pardon me. I wanted to add that one because I think there's times where we can also say the very obviously negative, like I'm really disappointed in you. But again, it's not specific enough. It's not saying, "Hey, you said you'd do something and you didn't." That's very different. But just saying, I'm really disappointed in you, it's like this judgment that comes down from high that they might not be able to recover from. And that can be hugely discouraging, but also huge hit to their self-esteem. Because if a child starts to think like, oh, I'm a disappointment to my parent, and just I'm always a disappointment to my parent, oftentimes there isn't any inspiration or motivation to change it, right? Hooray, you got that A. That's another one. And you're the best. The challenge with you're the best is what happens when they're not the best or they don't feel the best. Does that mean that you don't love them anymore? These are the things that I want to make sure that we're filling in the blanks for our child so that they're not coming to conclusions that we don't want them to come to. Is this landing for you? If so, I'd love to hear from you. Is this a conversation that you've thought of before? Is it a conversation that you are like, these are good reminders to me to ensure that I really am feeding my child's esteem in a way that really lights them up? I want to end with this today. And it's the power of this growth mindset, which is really Dr. Carol Dweck's research. She beautifully highlights this. It's pretty cool, actually, how this has become a game changer for the research that totally supports this. When I learned this 20 plus years ago, it was in psychology. But at the time, there was no solid research behind that this is really the better way to go. So if you've ever doubted this, I want you to look at this. So Dr. Dweck, after giving 400 fifth graders a simple IQ test, some were praised for their intelligence, while others for their effort. What was the outcome? Those encouraged for effort chose a more challenging task right afterwards. Yes, they immediately risked leaping out of their comfort zone. Yet those praised with, "You're so smart," took the easy, safe path. They totally shied away from a greater challenge later on. So praise ultimately demotivates because kids fear they won't be able to continue meeting the high bar set. It's not coming from inside of a belief of, yeah, I can do this. They don't yet believe enough in themselves. You saying it isn't enough. They've got to eventually feel it and believe it. And if you've already hit perfection in the eyes of another, you're on a pedestal and there's heaps of pressure and only one way to go, which could be down. So, what if you fail next time? How will you be seen by others if you're not as good as they think you are? This is the start of imposter syndrome. And if you are in a job or an entrepreneur or have struggled with imposter syndrome, this is often where it has been created. I am a recovering people pleaser through and through. And I know this one well. It's like, I'm not quite as good as everyone else. Thanks. So, how did this land for you? I want to know. If you haven't yet connected with me, I hope you are a member or become a member of the Stubborn Child Solutions Facebook group. It is free. You have access to me. DM me. I would love to hear where you're at on your path with parenting and with your stubborn child. And if you haven't remembered lately, or been reminded lately or told lately, thank you for all you do day in, day out as your child's parent. I know that parenting is not a sprint, it is a marathon. And you, my friend, are not only doing it, but you are here. And if there's any way that I can support you in bringing your A game to all you do as a parent, that is one of my highest passions and how I serve in this world. Hope to see you soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take care.